Hi again and welcome to the channel, and today I'm joined by Domenico.
Hi Craig.
Hopefully you saw my other videos out there about my predictions about 2020 and what I feel's kind of coming up using my psychic abilities.
Yeah, I actually saw that video. It's really interesting, and I saw that you spoke about politics, how the world is going to be in 2020. But have you thought about doing a video about the astrology in 2020? What every sign could expect by this new year?
Yeah, well, I think we can do something like that. This is called sun sign astrology. It started in the 1930s when people used it in the newspapers.
Almost 100 years old.
Yeah. So let's ask me a few questions.
Right, 2020 is not only a new year, but it's even a new decade.
Indeed.
God, it's going to be pretty fun to live.
Yeah.
Great time to be around. That's something that happens only once every 100 years. And we are not only in the new decade, we are in the new decade of the new century.
Yeah, indeed we are.
So it could be a pretty interesting point for astrology.
I think so.
And now to the next sign, Leo.
Yeah, Leo got to be cautious in 2020 because you got me saying 2020 now. They've got to be cautious in 2020 because it's a time when they could lose a lot of money. They got to watch their finances. That's the keynotes of the year. If I look at some of the planetary influence, we've again got Saturn in conjunction with Pluto on January the 12th, and this is possibly the best time for money. It's an optimistic time. It's a time when they can be expansive. It's a cheerful time for them. So that early part of the year is quite a good time money-wise. But we've got to be careful not to lose the gains we make. If we look around the financial houses of Jupiter, now this is the great benefactor of the Zodiac, and this can bring tempting opportunities. But again, I've got to be a bit cautious. I must be not overconfident. You know, the lion can sometimes get so proud and so believe in themselves that they kind of get a little bit too selfish sometimes, and it can cause monetary loss because people lose faith in them. March and May, between March and May, and also between August and September, those are the times to be particularly careful with money. So they're very challenging signs. There's a lot of difficulties potentially shown on the money front here for them. Again, we've got Mars retrograde between September and November. So that again is not an easy time. This is more on the emotional side, I feel. The danger of getting into conflicts with people, the danger of secrets being exposed, the time of one beginning to actually having to face the consequence if you've been doing something behind the scenes that people don't know about, you know. So they've got a lot of difficulties for the year ahead for Leo, but it's not all bad. You've got to be honest. You've got to be straight with people, and I think if you do things straight and you don't try to trick things or you try to misguide people, things will go fine, you know. But you've just got to be careful because there's potential of the gains you make, you could lose. So caution, that's all it needs, caution.
Well, we went from few lucky signs to a not really lucky 2020 for Leo.
No, I think they have a bit of a hard time this year. Sorry, folks. But, I mean, the whole thing is, though, is how you approach it. You see, the same person can have these same planetary alignments and make a great success. It's being aware of how to go about things. It's the way you go across the landscape, as it were. You know, so really, it's be prepared. The best way for Leo is to be straight, open, honest, to try to do things in a clear way and not to try to do things in a secretive way. And when you get your gains, don't take chances and risks with it. Stick the money in the bank when the good stuff comes along. and be cautious.
So, and how about the love life for Leo in 2020? If monetary-wise, money-wise, they're going to be cautious, they need to be cautious in 2020, how's going to be their love life?
I think it's a very varied thing again, because they've had quite a lot of difficulties with some of the things that are happening for Leo. There is a chance, again, if they're a single person, they could definitely meet someone in Leo. I think it's like they meet someone in similar problems that they're having in their life. It's like someone could help them. You know, they could be guided by others. Leos like to be the boss. They like to be in charge. The way things look for 2020 is that really, in some respects, they should follow rather than try to keep leading all the time. It's like they scare people off. So really, a Leo needs to be a bit more circumspect, a bit more cautious, and be prepared to follow rather than to always want to be the centre of attention and always want to lead. They've almost got to go a little bit against their nature in 2020, and then I feel they'll learn more and they'll become a much fuller individual and will attract the right people into their lives.
So it's not all bad.
Oh, no. And again, like I say, with all the signs, it's just a matter of getting the right attitude to the conditions that are there. Like, you know, the path is different for everybody. And, you know, do we wear dancing shoes or do we wear walking boots? You know, just the attitude we take will bring us success or not.
So let's say if Leo this year, this new year, this 2020 or 2020 is willing to just follow for once and learn from you.
Yeah, and yet I think also with Leo, by the midsummer period particularly, they're going to have a very good, strong sense of responsibility and care for others. And that's where they could really gain in the year. I think in the mid-year, round the summertime, they could become a lot more, if they do things right. It's like getting over this selfishness, I think we've got to say, with Leo. The summertime, they could have the admiration that they want from people if they get the right values. So for Leo, if you want your year to go well, you've got to think about everybody rather than just yourself.
So this 2020 seems to be, it's going to be actually a good year for most of the signs.
Yeah, I think an interesting year generally, with some interesting numerology in it as well, because it's the 20th of the 2nd, 2020, and things like that coming up, which we can talk about another time. But yeah, I think an interesting time, and also as through the prediction videos, an interesting time politically, for example.
And people can see your 2020 prediction on the other video you've made.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, and there's lots going on there.
There's the link somewhere.
Somewhere up here or over there.
And these predictions were more general, these astrological predictions, this science prediction.
Yeah, I mean, this type of astrology we're doing now is sun sign astrology, they call it. So, but if you want to get something a little bit more in-depth and personalised for you, you can have a look on my website. You'll see it coming up on the screen here somewhere. You can call my readers. They can give you a psychic reading, a clairvoyant reading, or a specifically astrological reading based entirely upon your date of birth and what you do. Just go to the website and call the numbers, and you can get reading right now if you like.
Don't forget to subscribe on this channel.
Yep.
Click the bell so you will be notified for any new video that is coming up. And actually, you were telling me before that you were going to do a better astrological video per each sign.
More in depth.
Yeah,
a bit more in depth for each sign. And we might even later on start looking at some pet videos as well, I was thinking.
The pet astrology.
But some of that might be fun to do. We can get Boo in.
Yeah.
And what about your channel? Because you're doing this new thing when you've been filming all this with these cameras and things. And
yeah, if you are interested in making these videos, or if you are interested in photography, videography, filmmaking, you want to start your own YouTube channel. Well, I got my channel. The link is in the description. I'm the Italian Dad. It's pretty simple to find.
And it's fun and interesting. And you can see some of the bloopers we make sometimes and the things that go right and go wrong and how we do it.
And I show especially how you can make all these on a budget, on a really tight budget. Because not many people can go out and buy a £25,000 or $25,000 camera. But In my videos and in my channel, you will see how you can make these videos with less than £500 or less than $500. I already have a video on which camera to buy if you just want to start and spend less than $500 or £500 between the camera, the lens and the microphone. That will get you started. So just go down in the description for the link and subscribe to it.
And talking about budgets, you can help us if you become a patron of this site, because we're trying to do something really special with this channel, as we've already said. You know, we're trying to get our own studio and places where we can work and transmit all sorts of interesting stuff to you that have never been done on YouTube before. Something unique, a community of spiritually minded people working together.
And we're trying to help even children in needs.
Indeed.
With the Patreon.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And then we do a lot of charitable work as well. And we'll keep you updated with that through the channel as well through 2020. Well, thanks for joining us, folks, and do keep subscribing, and thank you for supporting us over 2019. And all of you, no matter what sign, do have a good 2020. Life is what you make it. It doesn't matter about the planets and stars. It's us that make the changes in the world and can make our life happy.
Happy New Year, people.
Happy New Year.
Ciao.
Bye.
My wife Jane and I do our public work for free. We raise money through the theatres to raise money for our Hamilton Parker Foundation. This is a not-for-profit company that is soon to be registered as a charity. Now, our work is going in to help with the objectives of this charity, but you can help us as well by becoming what we call a patron of this channel. Now, as a patron, you'll get, first of all sorts of really interesting benefits. You'll have a sort of behind the scenes look at what goes on with our work. You'll get videos before other people. You'll get new videos. You'll get all sorts of benefits that are explained in the patron website, and it has various tiers that you can subscribe to. So you can subscribe to just a little bit and get a few benefits, or you can subscribe a lot and get a lot of benefits. And what this means is that we can raise some money through this channel. Now, this money's not going to me and Jane to give us a fancy lifestyle. This money is going into our foundation that has some fantastic objectives. Now, the first thing we want to do with the foundation is, first of all, get a cyber center together, a cyber temple, as it were, a place where we can introduce new people to you through this channel. So by supporting this channel and giving something to the as a patron, you will find that this channel will start to get better and better content with more and more interesting things going on. We'll be able to get the cameras, we'll be able to have the space, we'll be able to have the right setting where we can build the energy to do things such as mediumistic circles and so forth online. But also our work extends further than that, because we are hoping ultimately to build a spiritual center, a psychic ashram, as it were, where people like you can come to visit and take part in an interactive way through this channel as well. But also we are doing a lot of what we call spiritual service. We are going out and giving a large part of the income we generate to people in India who are destitute. We've given to schools, we've fed children that are in need, we've helped mentally handicapped people, we've given cows to old people in India. Some of all this you'd have seen in my movie Mystic Journey to India on Amazon. But all of this is part of our mission, part of our remit to help the world. Because we're not only trying to find our divine nature, we're also trying to live what we learn and express it in ways that are really beneficial to the world. So if you follow this channel, but more importantly, if you become a patron of this channel, you can help us to take this whole mission onto a much higher level than any psychic work has ever been done before.